Greetings everyone, this is the introduction to my homebrew chapter of Space Marines which you will be seeing on the channel. Before I started dropping too many campaign videos and short stories, I wanted to give you all some background to help you follow along. The mythology for the chapter comes mainly from the computer game Baldur's Gate and its sequels. If you have not yet played the game, spoilers are inbound. In the game, you are a Baal spawn and are unwittingly part of a plot by Baal, Lord of Murder, to resurrect himself after being slain during the Time of Troubles. The Time of Troubles was a turbulent period in the world of Faerun, where the gods physically walked the earth and could be killed. Baal foresaw his own death and concocted a plan to fuel his return. He poured his essence into dozens of mortal vessels, their souls imbued with his nature and power, most of which were born in Baalite temples throughout the land. Many of these progeny became powerful, with some starting wars and generally terrorizing the nations of Faerun in the process. What they did not know was that the more blood they spilled, whether on the field of battle or in a back alley, the more powerful their Baal essence became. When they were finally killed themselves, their soul's energy fueled the return of Baal. This is how the game culminates, with you defeating the High Priestess of Baal, who is supposed to use the collected energies to resurrect him, but craves the power for herself. You can choose to take the power to become the new Lord of Murder, or let the essence dissipate. The Tears of Baal are 5 tear-shaped objects that you earn and are used to open the door to the final battle of the second game. There is also the Avatar of Baal, which the player can transform into later in the game. It is known as the Slayer, and confers many potent combat abilities, along with a terrifying physical transformation, which sees the character gain an additional set of arms and grow long talons, very much like a gene stealer. The Tears of Baal are a Primaris reinforced, fleet-based chapter of Space Marines, and a successor of the Blood Angels Legion. They are a relatively new chapter, and were part of the 25th founding in mid-M40. They revere Sanguinius as a godlike entity second only to the Emperor, and generally follow the Codex Astartes, but have some notable deviations. For one, the chapter masters are librarians, known as Soul Wardens in the Tiers, and their detachments almost always include a member of the Librarius. Chaplains, known as Guardians of the Ritual, lead the death companies. Captains and lieutenants are tactical leaders and have special monikers we will go into later. Lastly, sanguinary priests, known as the Keepers of the Blood, oversee the recovery of Gene Seed. They have a large number of aspirants compared to other chapters, and routinely recruit from any suitable world to which they are deployed. Something that must be discussed for any Blood Angel successor is how they deal with the Black Rage and the Red Thirst. However, in order to understand this, we must first turn to the Soul Wardens. As part of their training, each Soul Warden in the Tears of Baal must undergo a harrowing journey. They meld their minds with a battle brother who is in the throes of the Black Rage, to see and feel the visions for themselves. As one would expect, not all potential Soul Wardens survive this encounter. They believe this experience gives them a special connection to their Primarch. Afterwards, they can feel his essence keenly in the warp, and they believe it is slowly getting stronger over time. They are convinced that every Space Marine bearing Sanguinius' gene seed who dies sends a piece of their soul to the Primarch, and when this energy reaches a critical mass, he will be resurrected, and the Black Rage will cease to afflict them. This belief underpins the entire structure of the chapter. In the Tiers, the Soul Wardens can sense when a Marine is near to falling to the Black Rage or becoming lost to the Red Thirst. This ability is almost certainly due to their mind-melding experience. When this is discovered, the Battle Brother is sent to the Reclusium along with a suitable aspirant. The aspirant, who has been fully indoctrinated into the chapter's dogma and implanted with Gene Seed, is ritually sacrificed by the Battle Brother under the supervision of a chaplain and sanguinary priest, who collects the Gene Seed afterwards. The Battle Brother drinks the blood of the aspirant, and the twin flaws recede. Every Battle Brother succumbs at different times. The ritual may hold off the insanity caused by the flaws for a year, a decade, and some only need to go through the ceremony once despite centuries of service. The Codex Astartes only limits the number of Battle Brothers and members of the 10th Company. It says nothing of the number of recruits, and this is why the Tears keep so many on hand. The aspirants are happy to serve in the capacity of warrior or as a ritual sacrifice, because either way, they believe their life brings the day of the Primarch's return that much closer. But, as with all flaws, some are irredeemable. A percentage of Battle Brothers see the time between their necessary rituals decrease exponentially, and once it is often enough, usually more than once a standard Terran year, they are put into the Death Company and led by guardians into the heart of any battle to die gloriously in the name of Sanguinius and the Emperor. This is why Soul Wardens are so important to this chapter. They can sense the Black Rage coming and stop it before a Battle Brother goes berserk and becomes unable to follow orders. As such, only Soul Wardens are allowed into Dreadnoughts, because they are so vital to the greater mission of the chapter, and their service is needed for as long as possible. One thing to note is that so far, no Soul Warden has fallen to the Black Rage after surviving the Mind Meld. A few unfortunates have fallen beforehand, but none after. A single ritual seems to suffice for them, though none know why this is the case. There is one last duty for the Psykers. When one of the Death Company is near to coming fully under the thrall of the Black Rage, he is brought into the presence of the Soul Warden by the Guardian. This brother takes on the title of the Slayer. He is outfitted with a jump pack, lightning claws, and an iron halo. In some cases, other relic war gear is bestowed upon him, depending on the importance of the coming battle. When battle is joined, he allows the rage to consume him and is sent into the thickest of fighting. Before an engagement where there is a Slayer present, all Battle Brothers taking part, from the Soul Warden to the Greenest Scout, personally swear to the Slayer that if he does his duty and destroys as many of the enemy as possible before his death, they will recover his gene seed and honor his memory. The beliefs of the chapter make them zealous in the extreme to recover gene seed. It is their link to the return of the Primarch. Keepers of the Blood accompany almost every detachment to oversee this process and lead counterattacks to retrieve fallen brothers. This can sometimes alienate allies, who all of a sudden find their Astartes support charging into a lost battle zone to recover gene seed, instead of consolidating and counterattacking as one. The Tears do not split their forces into many small detachments, usually sending at least a company into a battle zone and judiciously deploying depending on the number of Soul Wardens, Keepers, and Guardians available. The Tears almost always deploy as an infantry force, with only 2 fully mechanized companies in the chapter. They are an aggressive force that relies on mid-range shooting to thin an enemy down and then pounce from the sky with hard-hitting jetpack assault units or drop pod insertions to annihilate enemy strong points. They walk the line between wanting to die for Sanguinius and knowing that they must slay as many of the Emperor's foes as they can before that day comes. They are not suicidal, but have no compunction against throwing themselves at long odds, trusting their brothers will sweep behind to finish the fight and collect their gene seed. Now that the chapter has been Primaris reinforced and fighting for decades, relatively few of the previous generation Marines remain outside the First and Death Companies. The Tears routinely deploy with a significant 10th Company presence and usually have a hard-hitting squad of veterans with them. No Primaris has yet entered the Death Company, as the ritual appears to work with them just as well or better as previous generation Marines. However, the Librarians believe it is only a matter of time until the Primaris begin to fall, as the Sons of Sanguinius always have. The Tears, of course, keep their beliefs secret, as do most Blood Angel's successor chapters, for fear of discovery of the flaw. Chapter Colors and Paint Scheme. The Tears' armor is predominantly black, with a white helmet and red left arm. The trim on the right shoulder pad is a nod to the 9th Legion, and the trim on the left pauldron denotes battlefield role. Headquarters units have blue trim, troops are gray, fast attack are yellow, elites are green, heavy support is purple, and the Death Company wear black. All bear the red smears under their eyes of their helmets to represent the blood and tears shed by all of humanity for the death of the angel and the mourning that all the Sons of Sanguinius felt at his demise. All save the Death Company. Their days of mourning are over, and they will soon send their souls to a greater cause. Now we will move from overall chapter organization to specifically the Tears of Baal 3rd Company. The 3rd Company of the Tears is dominated by heavy infantry and is famed for its ability to come to grips with the enemy before they are prepared. The company is known in the chapter as the Proving Ground. It received this moniker after centuries of sending more of its Marines to the First Company than any other, and also boasting the most Soul Wardens elevated to Chapter Master. They traverse the galaxy in their ancient battle barge, the Echo of Blood. The command cadre is led by Soul Warden Tycentus. He is backed by the Angel's Witness Anomen. The Angel's Witness is the equivalent of a captain and oversees the day-to-day running of the ship and the company, leading them in battle and in preparation. This is where his title comes from, as he is thought to literally be witnessing all of the tiny actions taken that will ensure Sanguinius' return. Guardian Keldorn leads the Death Company and oversees the ritual, with Keeper of the Blood Cernd. The company is split into 3 distinct sections, known as wings. These are called the Spears of the Angel, the Eyes of the Angel, and the Shadows of the Angel. They are each led by a lieutenant, who takes the name of the wing as his title. The Spears of the Angel are led by Lieutenant Ajantis and consist of the short-range and melee units. These include 10 Intercessors, 10 First Company veterans, 6 Inceptors with assault bolters, 3 Inceptors with assault plasma incinerators, 6 Aggressors with Boltstorm gauntlets, and 2 Invictor tactical war suits. The Eyes of the Angel are led by Lieutenant Corrin, and his wing contains the heavy and longer range weapons in the company. There are 10 scouts armed with sniper rifles and missile launchers, 6 suppressors, and 15 hellblasters. The Shadows of the Angel are led by Lieutenant Valigar, and their roles are ambush and reconnaissance. They consist of 10 infiltrators, 10 reavers, 3 eliminators with las fusils, 3 eliminators with bolt sniper rifles. There are also 2 special units. One is Harold Kagan. He carries the banner of the 3rd Company into battle. He is a rallying point for friendly forces and a target for foes. This tour of duty is nearly always followed by admission into the elite First Company and is only given to the most stalwart and promising of warriors. And finally, there is the Death Company, including the current Slayer, former witness Sarevok. These are the warriors whose minds and psyches are nearly lost to the rage and are sent into the thickest fighting. A careful counting will reveal that there are 111 members of the 3rd Company, which is more than prescribed by the Codex Astartes. The Tears, however, would disagree. There are in fact 100 Marines in the company. That is because they do not count the Death Company, for in their eyes, they are already dead.